Hello, I'm Rick Hurd, Service Manager at Promarks, and just want to show you today our TM-20 and our TM-40 tabletop vacuum tumbler. We'll start with the TM-20. TM-20 is a 20-pound tumbler. This is a TM-40 is a 40-pound tumbler, but like I said, we're going to start with this one right here. Basically, the drum is removable, so you can load it. Okay, so when you're disassembling the drum here for cleaning, you're going to unlatch these latches, remove the lid, set the lid off to the side. Has a removable silicone gasket on here for the lid that can be removed for cleaning and also replaced. We have these in stock if it's damaged. These fins on the inside of the drum right here are removable for cleaning. You can take these off and clean these and reinstall. All right, so we're going to reassemble. You put the fins back on after they've been cleaned, one on each side, lock it in place. Take your lid, center the lid back on, take your latches, and you're going to put the drum back on. Just pick the drum, and you got to line this up. It's a square back here, as you can see right here, and it's a square peg on the back end of the drum. So you line up the square peg in the square hole, and there it goes right. All right, so basically to hook up the vacuum, you take your line off. This is a holder for the vacuum line right here. You're gonna push it into this push-in connector, which is your vacuum line right here going into the drum. Leave it in the open position. This is the off position, this is open, so we want it to be open so that it can pull the vacuum on the drum. Then we're going to come over to the side controls over here, where you have your vacuum control and your speed control. This is a variable speed control. And this knob right here is the potentiometer to adjust your speed. You turn it on right here. Then you're going to turn this on, and your drum is running. It's variable speed, so we can slow it down, or we can speed it up. So it runs anywhere between 6 to 8 RPMs at the slowest and approximately 20 to 22 RPMs at the highest speed. So if you can see this, but while it's running, you've got a swivel connector here that's not allowing this to spin around, even though that's going around. So you can maintain vacuum while you're tumbling. So basically we're gonna turn on the vacuum pump, pull the vacuum on here, and we've got a vacuum gauge right at the top right up here. So you can see how much pressure you're pulling. And then I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the vacuum pump right here. And now it's pulling a vacuum. If you watch the gauge, you can see the gauge moving up as it's starting to pull a vacuum on this drum. And once you pull a full vacuum, what you'll do is you'll shut this valve off to the off position, and you'll remove the hose and put the hose back on the holder, and it's going to maintain the vacuum on the drum as long as this is closed. And you're going to have a timer right over here. We're going to swing over and show you this timer right here. This timer right here can set to how long you want to run the tumble. As soon as that timer expires, it's going to shut down. So once you're finished, the timer is expired, you're going to pick up your drum, you're going to set it back down, and you're going to open this up, relieve the pressure, then pop the latches and lift the drum off and take the product out. Sometimes during vacuum, when your vacuum hose is attached to the drum and it's running, you'll get a little bit of liquid that's going to be pulled in here. And this is a water catch right here, and this can be cleaned. Comes with a wrench. Put the wrench on here, rotate this, loosen it up, unscrew this off, remove this, and you'll wash this out really good every time you run the machine. So then we'll just put it back on, screw it back on. Make sure it's tight so you don't get a vacuum leak. So we've gone over the controls, the operation, how to pull a vacuum. And this TM-40 model, the 40-pound model, is exactly the same controls, exactly the same way to take it apart and to pull a vacuum. Everything's the same. The only difference is it has a larger drum. Other than that, both units are identical with the exception of the larger drum. Let you take a look inside the back here. You push the red button, the latch opens up. And in the back here, you've got your gearbox and the motor, the gear motor. This is a DC powered gear motor. This is your vacuum pump, and this is a dry pump. This is a diaphragm pump. It's a non-oil type pump. So the only maintenance required on this is to keep it very clean, keep it dry as much as possible so you can maintain the life of your pump. Don't forget that this right here is your QR code to get your manual. So scan this in, go to the website, put in the serial number of your machine, and get your manual.